Hello everyone and welcome to the official SWGT YouTube channel. My name is Sarusa. Today we're going to take a look at SWGT Update 5.7.0, which has some new features and some quality of life improvements. The first update line today takes us over to any of the rune set dropdowns, but before we get there, under Account Analytics I've actually gone through and rearranged some of the menus. Rune Detail is up on top, and then it used to be called Runes, and I've renamed it Rune Graph just for clarity. Same thing for Artifact Detail and Artifact Graphs. So if we go over to the Rune Detail feature, you'll see now that in the set dropdown, I have expanded it from top 1000 to top 1500. So this should just allow players to see a bigger slice of their runes. While we're here, we can see that there's a new column, Rune ID. You can obviously customize your columns, but I had some people ask, hey, could you please allow me to sort my oldest runes versus my newest runes? And so that's what that column is basically there for. Rune ID really doesn't mean anything other than that. It's just the unique ID that rune is in the game. So it just allows you to go through and sort so you can see your oldest and newest. On the artifact side, we have the same thing. If we pick, for instance, let's say all of my water artifacts, you'll see now that the artifact ID is in here, and you can see that I can sort by artifact ID. So this will do artifact ID from the greatest to the worst. Obviously, this artifact needs to get sold, so I don't know why it's there, but I gotta go in and sell it. The next update line takes us back to the Account Analytics menu, and there is a new feature. I actually renamed the Gem+Grind. It used to be called Inventory Gem+Grind. Now I've just renamed it to Gem+Grind Inventory, and then there's a new feature, Gem+Grind Needs. So this new feature goes through all of your runes, and based on your filters on top, of course, and tells you all of the gem and grind needs. So obviously, like if we take a look at accuracy, for example, you can see that my predominant needs are going to be legendary grinds. So I've done a pretty good job to gem and grind all of my accuracy runes, but there's a couple that still need a gem and grind. Obviously of certain colors. These bars are actually clickable. So if I were to click on, let's say this one right here for attack, it'll show you what runes they are, and then of course all the usual features of seeing what the rune actually is and how I can gem it and so on and so forth. So super nice feature. I'm going to pause the video here and flip over to another player that I have access to their data for, so you can see what it looks like when things aren't so well grinded. All right, and through some movie magic, you can see now that I have flipped over to this player's view. If we come over here and open up their despair runes, you can see that they have a very large amount of rare gems and grinds needed. So they are obviously not farming R5 and definitely should, but again, all of these bars are clickable. It tells you where to focus, right? That's really the whole point and the whole goal of this. So just a super nice and simplified way of looking at your gem and grind needs. I personally have started using it as of this week. And so it's just one of those things where, I was wondering like, hey, where should I farm and what do I actually need to work on? And SWGT technically does have ways you can go through under the gem and grind optimizer and see all your runes and see all the different details, but there's no simplified way today until the update to be able to see like where all your needs are and how much you need. So obviously, you can have a whole bunch of gems and grinds in inventory and go through and gem and grind something and you get nothing out of it, right? That's something that's one of my biggest pet peeves about what Commodore has as far as their gem and grinds. I think personally that a legendary gem should always give you at least +1, right? So if you had a HP gem that you put, let's say your gem was an 8 already on the rune, it should at least give you a 9, and then on the hero side, maybe it's a 50-50 chance, and then the, on the rare side, things are obviously, random based on, whatever their current math and algorithm is. But I don't know, something to me says that like legendary gems and grinds are so hard to come by as it is, and then, for you to sink, 5 legendary gems and grinds into a single rune and get nothing out of it, I don't know, that just feels real bad. So I think it's something that they need to update, but anyways, I digress. It's not really a part of anything that I have any control over, so it is what it is. But anyways, the new feature for needs, I think it's a really great feature. I would love some feedback if people can think of other needs and uses. I'm always looking for new ideas. Now flipping over to the GitHub page, there's actually a plugin update, and this is the last update line for the update today. SWGT on the guild side has a plugin update. I have gone through and added the VisitFriends support. So I had somebody ask like, hey, I have some players that don't want to, they don't want to have to set up SWGTs. They don't want to have to set up all the certificate, and it's just too much computer skills for them. And I understand that the friend visit doesn't have good data in it, but can I at least do it from the plugin so that way I don't have to manually upload everyone's files. And after some careful consideration, I implemented things in a little bit different way, but still doing similar to what they're asking for. So with a friend visit, let's say you had a player that's their last update was April 1st, right? And so they have summoned some new monsters and have some new runes. As long as those monsters are on the island and those runes are on the monsters that are on the island, if you go into your guild member list and you go to the player's profile and you visit their island, it'll actually update SWGT. So typically the way that the friend visit works in SWGT when you upload, actually let's go to a guild site. If we go to guild and members, and let's say we come into mine, for instance, if you upload here, if I were to upload a visit friend, it'll delete all of the runes and artifacts and monsters that are there, and then it adds all of the monsters, runes, and artifacts that are in the file from the friend visit. That's the way that the system currently works. But with the plugin update, it's only additive and update only, so it doesn't actually wipe out those monsters that they already have. It's only additive and any sort of update. So for instance, if a rune or an artifact was gemmed or grinded since, those would be updated automatically. But again, I think that there's a hard limit of 120 monsters on any given island, so you're never going to be able to get all of the monsters and all of the runes on a player's account. This is a limitation with how CompTwist has implemented the visit friend. Again, you can only see things that are on the island rather. So if they have things in storage, obviously you can't see any of that. And then players that have their monster or that have inventory runes and artifacts, you can't see those as well in the actual player packet. So the visit friend is not really a great packet, but at least the way I've implemented it here in the plugin, it makes it somewhat useful, right? So probably a better use case would be somebody up their player JSON today, and you're working on the siege map because it is Saturday, and so and let's say they had summoned 5 new units, right? So as long as they have it on the island, a guild leader can go out to the guild member list in the game and then visit that friend. It's not really a friend per se, but the packet is the same whether they are a friend or they're a player in my guild member list. So in game you go to community, and then under the guild tab in there, you see where you can tap on the profile button. Again, that button right there, when you bring up the player and you click on visit in the bottom right hand corner, whether you're a friend with the person or whether they're in your guild, the packet is exactly the same. So that's how all of that works. So really nice update. I think it's a nice quality of life update. I don't know how much it'll be used, but I guess time will tell. And that's it for today. I just wanted to say a thank you to all the Patreon members who subscribe to SWGT and to all the people that constantly give feedback about the platform. It's only through your support and efforts that SWGT is what it is today. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We all make SWGT better together. And with that, don't forget to smash those like buttons, and I'll see all of you on the battlefield.